So I'm smiling ear to ear because I got asked a question, and that's what I absolutely love when I put out these videos, that people come back and say, hey, I liked your answer there, could you perhaps answer this question? So if ever you watch these and there's anything you'd like me to answer, please do get in touch. So this question came from somebody managing that's just got the opportunity to manage a social media account and wanted my perspective in terms of how do you manage a social media account. This is a space I love. I obviously set up a social media marketing agency called Leading Social, and I've literally managed hundreds of accounts. Now the first thing is that every account is different. So a lot of the time you might Google it online and it'll be like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. The fact of the matter is that actually every step is unique to whoever it is that you're working with. So my advice to you would be to sit down with whoever it is that's employing you to manage over their social media accounts and really, really interview them, interrogate them almost in terms of what they want, what they're expecting from employing you to manage over their social media. So you want to know a few kind of specific things. You want to know as much as you can about their profile if you're managing them, their business, and their service. That's an absolute given. But really the key thing when you're working together with someone is to understand their expectations. So to sit down with them and ask them, okay, in hiring me to manage over your social media, what do you think that looks like? How many times do you want me to post? What kind of posts do you want me to do? What do you want to get from your social media? If this works really, really well in a month's time or 3 months' time or 6 months' time, what's that going to look like on your social media? So everyone has different impressions of what they'll get when they hire you. And this isn't just in terms of managing over their social media, it's in terms of any working relationship. And the real success comes from really understanding who it is that you're working with and what it is that they're expecting from you. So having a very frank, very open, very honest, transparent conversation with somebody at the very start is the absolute key. A lot of the time people think that, oh God, I shouldn't ask any questions. If someone's hiring me, I should instinctively know everything. And what I've found through experience is that actually the best people I work with ask the most questions up front. And then they kind of build out a kind of a working structure or kind of an overview of expectations, and then they flow from there. So as I said, the real key is sit down with whoever it is that's employing you and get to know them absolutely inside out, in terms of what it is that they're doing or what it is that the service they want you to promote is, and then how they expect to work with you. So kind of a couple of key things on that you really want to know. What are their goals for their social media? Do they want to build up their following? Do they want to click people through to their website? Do they want to get engagement? Do they want to get kind of customer feedback through their social media? Do they want to generate endorsements from their followers onto others? How often do they want to post? My recommendation there would be less is more. So if you're busy posting once every day or 2 or 3 times every day, it's going to be very hard to do anything decent on social media. And again, people don't want to be spammed to, and they want to follow a page that's worth following. So I'd really, really encourage less is more in that respect. What do they want? How do they want to measure the success? So if it's clicking people through to the website, that's page views on the website. So you want to make sure you get access to their Google Analytics. If it's purchases, you want to get access to whatever purchasing engine they have on their site. If it's followers, obviously you'll have access to the social platforms and you can measure that. And what I'd really recommend is that you create a log and you fill that in on a weekly basis, and you might check in with whoever it is that you're working with on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, very much in line with, look, this is what you wanted me to do. You wanted me to post this many times a day or a week. Here are the posts. This is what you were looking for in terms of generating a following or generating click-throughs to your website. So from being tuned into the analytics, here are the results that you've got. And being open to relationships developing. What I find is that a lot of the time when you're working with people, they have ideas of how they want things to run, initially speaking. And then once you get stuck in and once things get moving and going, those wants change. So having a set weekly meeting with people, whoever it is that you're working with, I think can be really, really ideal. Absolutely, definitely no less than once a month, where you sit down, you review the performance in line with what they want, and you refine your work in terms of what you're going to do going forward based on the results that you've got, but also based on their kind of changing wants and expectations. Now, a kind of a big mistake that a lot of people fall into in this space is that as the work evolves, they start taking on a bigger workload, but they forget to communicate that with the client. And so it's really, really important that as the work expands and develops, you sit down quite frankly and say, look, that's a couple of extra hours here, so we need to amend the pricing that I'm charging you. And that's completely fine. Make no mistake, when people are starting a new relationship, they're most conservative. So at that initial starting point, people are going to be the tightest they'll be. But as soon as they start seeing good results, that's all the more encouraging. And especially as soon as they start working more and more with you, they relax down. So people will be much more open to spending more with you the more your relationship progresses and develops. Whereas at the very, very initial start of a relationship, people are most conservative. So that's something to remember as well, that sometimes you will discount your pricing in the first month to hook people in, and then you'll bring it up. Just if you're doing that, make sure you let people know what your proper full pricing is and the discount that you're giving. Sometimes people give discounts up front and forget to actually tell people that they're giving a discount, and that becomes really hard to then charge whatever it is that you want down the line. Those are some really, really broad kind of points. When it comes to working with anybody on social media as well, I always think there's a key thing: don't assume you know your audience. So say, for example, you put together a posting strategy and a plan of action. Don't be too fixed on that. The beautiful thing about social media is that your audience will tell you what they like and what they don't. So with that, it's important to trial and test, but it's also really, really important to refine based on the results that you're getting back, or the feedback that you're getting back, and the results that you want. Anyway, I could talk on and on and on about this. It's a space I'm really interested in, and it's a space I've been in for absolutely years. I hope there's some guiding points in that. And if there's anything that you'd like me to delve into a little bit more, feel free to get in touch. You can link in with me on Instagram at Jamie White, or on email, just jamie@jamiewhite.com. And as I said, it's a space I love, so I'm really happy to share, and I hope it brings you good value from here.